Good blog. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at Haroon Creates. That's Haroon Creates. Thank you.
And he's headlining in August. You're headlining in August.
I'm headlining here on August 1st, so come on down.
Come on. Haroon, you right? How you doing? Doing okay? Look, he's saying, jeez. Alright, look at the paint trainers. Yeah, man. M-I.
What does the M stand for? This is my name. Amy is A-M-I,
But it's a 4.
But 4-M-I is like 4-me. I'm doing it for me.
Yeah, you'll get at the bottom of the description, you know what I mean? YouTube.
I'm not hosting, by the way, because this is what we do. We don't just pass it on to one person. We have as many opportunities as possible. Can we please give it up?
Where is it?
Can we please give it up to our DJ for the night, Corey Core? Can we please give it up for our headline, Haroon? Can we please give it up for our curator of tonight's show, the Metaphorest? Start stomping your feet. No, I'm a teacher. Stomp your fucking feet. Clap your hands. And give it up for former headliner, future superstar. Oh no, he's already a superstar. Keep clapping. And give it up for our host of the night. Spoken with division, aka Swvrthy.
Swvrthy! Come on, my G.
Oh man, you always make me very shy.
Zim Zim!
Don't be shy. How's everyone doing today? Yeah? Okay, cool. I'm loving the energy today. I'm gonna perform a piece. This one is titled I'm gonna go and sin. Yeah, that's one of my favorites. Ndokumbira Tower. They put a price on our ancestors' heads, expressing pride for transactions made. Centuries of sanctions, like energies of action. Centuries of oppression, killing my people for fashion. The skin I wear is still out of fashion, yet it trends in most regions. It's the reason the economy resets my many colleges and many colleges and families for taking the knee. My land is calling, crawling. My mind is listening, walking. My hand is digging, falling into the earth's core, searching for lovers that melt seatbelts and seats out at the top of this hierarchy to pop off their anarchy. Instead of hiring, they're too busy firing, aiming at people like me. May the 4th be with you, cause what the slave is the 4th of July. Invaders of Anakin, that's dark skin, living scars through wars of stars, destroying our sons to not all be one. Moving lights from a tunnel vision, broken rights from televisions. The revolution will now be televised. We're not gonna change it. The first change that takes place is in your mind, hence the revolution will not be televised. If they tell you otherwise, be wise that others not boxed to a medium of media that feeds them to starve. Our freedom, the oppressed, will be recognized. You wonder why my people are hungry? They cross countries, marked X's on treasures, trenched in trenches of dead bodies. You wonder why my people are hungry. We cross countries, empty-handed, chasing for change that left us fasting. The marathon begins within, lapping loops of legislation like a verbatim to the venom of Satan. I'm black and I'm proud with no cloud of doubt. Rimi Rango as it bathes in this concrete jungle to not be conquered by crown jewels, conquered from the stolen wells of ourselves. Our DNA is imprisoned in a helix made up of made-up specifics, creating a suppressing spiral staircase, destroying our spinal backbone, disintegrating our identity designed to spiral us down, so we roll a dice in this life of snakes and ladders to pay the price to survive, protecting others. Hanzi is Swvrthy. but he were in bother. Them man are forgers that stole land to make forger simply that stole land to make forger simply nick coke ting lies with lies covering robbery in ink. Cowering behind governing ties that nick not to tongues and hope we hang our head on rocks that rob and store from our ancestors' tree. Muti wawo ninge futi, a tree shaped like a gun, a western weapon that stole the sun from our sons, lost. A part died learning about the apartheid, and you're telling me having a black employee doesn't make you racist? Let's face it, overcoming humanity basics burdened by white supremacists, playing chess, not checkers, not a game, but we talking about practice, becoming franchise of daily habits. I want to cut it because it's a bit long, but I am Swvrthy. I am Swvrthy. I am speaking with vibrations, revealing that humanity yields a bulletproof, dark-skinned harvest that humbles even the darkness created from racism aimed at those who sin. Just to reiterate, I did say I am Swvrthy. I am speaking with vibrations, revealing that humanity yields a bulletproof, dark-skinned harvest that humbles even the darkness created from racism, aimed at those who speak in natives. Sing. Thank you. Whoever's coming next will be searching. With that being said, this person was a headliner here, and they didn't want to perform. But you know me, innit? I don't really listen to people. So everyone give a round of applause for the Odd Socks.
How you guys doing like that? Guys, can we just acknowledge that you just did me so dirty?
You're welcome.
Wow.
So I gotta make this tripod.
You're all gonna see why I did it dirty. Continue.
Oh yeah. Okay, good evening guys. My name is Mariam, also known as the Odd Socks Diaries. Sorry there are no socks today.
She's stockless. Hey, look at it.
So I'll have to be honest, it's been a year since I performed here.
Oh, nice.
I know.
It's
I'm
been
just
a
coming
while.
to soak up the vibes, but apparently it's been sensitive, so right passage, so we're gonna go into this. So recently I've been crossing paths with pasts of ghosts that once claimed and then severed me. Rearranging priorities and reshuffling some dormant memories, I've been strolling through storms that once could have weathered me, but still sinking in the weight of souls that echoed their aches for decades and centuries. I'm telling you that I'm tired of reaching out with empty palms for hearts that have scattered further than any of the stars in your bedroom projector of galaxies, but still coming aflame with each and every one of my human discrepancies, and I guess I'm just trying to tell you that I'm so fucking tired of being my worst enemy, so in prayer I now kneel to find the elixir of life and its healing remedies. Eyes wider and unhazed, I'm now traveling the dimensions of some desperately needed self-transparency, but I'm still combing through the wreckage of wars that had once been waged through all these romanticized fantasies, while still grappling with the fickleness of life and the bluntness of this cyclical human mortality, so torn in half through this path, I stumble between the road to instant chemical nirvana and the one that could lead me to some desperately needed mental clarity. Thank you.
Long and difficult was the journey. Painful was the agony of separation. But now we merged our warmth in the stillness of the night, and our breaths rushed with desires encountered. Senses heightened, we embrace into an affinity, como noches y lunas, nuestro amor. As nights and moons or love, smelling of lavenders, adorning the floral aesthetics of the room's ambience. Me dulce reina Nubia, my sweet Nubian queen, you're the spinning carousel of my happiness. Discarding inhibitions in darkness, we became lost in our garden of Eden, wrapped tightly in stifling air. Even as time faded, we going beyond horizons to previously unknown heights or known delights. So many colors in our memories, the salmon hue of rainbows, the lapis lazuli of the silvery sky, sunsets mesmerizing crimson, and even the glorious moon blanketing our curves with a canopy of light. Who says there is no melody and rhythm? Our bodies dance as if seduced by the bewitching notes of the songs of Solomon, fingers and palms perusing everywhere, painting calligraphy in the heat of our ebony, more sublime than Egyptian princesses. Our pace, slow, deliberate, teasing, picks up, drowned only by the jasmine aroma of our chocolate labors, glint in our eyes, we smile alluringly as Marvin's Hagamos Elemar esta noche, let's make love tonight, resonates in tempo to our tempestuous shadows. Asomándose por las ventanas mi casa, las estrellas. Peeping through the windows of my house, the stars swallowed our darkness, we blending into the dawn like sunrise does to daybreak, seduced into revealing our nakedness by the allure of spicy and turbulent desires. Way into the corridors of our nights, I played with the olive gleamer of a melanin tone as we merged, breath kissing breath, saying everything, speaking nothing. Now I can smell the flames of emotions to the brim in this our timeless moment of love. Not so long ago, doubt affected my ability to ascend, and love's mountain seemed too rugged, too steep to climb, so I remained at the bottom, dripping the pains of misery and despair. Ahora, la gracia del amor, now, love's grace, I'm on the ascendancy, and the sweet breeze of redolent oils in which we bathe here takes us into what was once unfamiliar territory, known only to the goddess Venus. I know that El Cielo has covered us with genius for esta noche, tonight, we're creative artists exploring the dizziest of heights. Hasta la próxima, mis amigos.
How many people here are single?
Hey, why you asking?
That was so silent. How many in a relationship? Alright, cool. If your girl is here, it's a bit dangerous because this guy's got one of the deepest voices in the house. You already know who it is. I don't even say much. Everyone give a loud round of applause for my man Mosh.
I'm so glad I'm single right now because I would have lost my girl immediately. I would have lost my girl.
I know, right?
Hey, do the mic check thing. Do the mic check thing. I'm fellas too.
It's smooth, bro.
Jeez. Hey, we're not ready, bro.
I don't want feelings now.
Oh, you look like you just went platinum. You went platinum, bro.
I've been thinking about what I'm going to do today, so I'll give you a little something. Just a little something. A little something. I think there's power in names, so I've not been naming anything for a while, so I love my peace and feeling there, you know, powerless. But It is what it is, you feel me? So we'll start with this. As the sun rises and memories of the day before become a thing of the past and the darkness of night, the light shines and the warmth of your touch echo. My skin feels like the sun against bare skin. All our emotions lay bare, all our history we decided to share. Your phantom touch, a shadow I find myself chasing.
Come on.
Say it again.
Say that again, please.
Yeah, say it again.
Your phantom touch, a shadow I find myself chasing.
Woo.
Memories of our time outweigh the present. Your presence is a gift I never want to stop unwrapping.
Come on. You make me want to call my ex right now. Jeez.
And on all this I feel after a day well spent. Just one day. A lifetime of you, a weight I'm not prepared to carry. But like Atlas, this is a burden I'm capable of carrying.
Say that again.
Let's get more
A lifetime of you might be a weight I'm not prepared for, but like Atlas, this is a burden I'm capable of carrying. I yearn for the fruits of that labor, however how forbidden. I hear the whispers of snakes telling me to pluck an unripe fruit. But like a patient farmer, I know to await harvest. So I watch the rain and seasons go by, till it's the right time to share the fruits of the seed you planted in my mind. And now it's the end, but I have some wise words to leave. So I'll tell you what, I was at the show, Underground Bars, I think I still have time. 2 minutes?
Less than that.
Okay, cool. Just 5 lines. How hard can you fight nature? Can you even raise your hand to your mother? So I keep my rage within and I ask myself, where's my father? As I watch time go by, I realize I'm the son of tomorrow. Goodbye.
My name is Heenal. Thank you. That's quite a few acts to follow. Bear with me, it's my first time.
You've got this, girl.
Yeah, you got this.
Just a bit of backstory. I didn't expect myself up here about 2 weeks ago. Took my keyboard out and came up with spoken word. So, thanks to Mariam over there for signing me up today. This piece is just a summary of my life and an introduction to me. Without further ado, this is called Ascension.
Yes, let's go!
9,490 days to have my freedom. 26 years, that's the lifespan of most of my unhealed feelings.
Say it again.
Read it.
Read it.
Hey, man, we on timing, you know.
We're doing 9,490 days to have my freedom. 26 years, that's the lifespan of most of my unhealed feelings. I hid away behind the masks of several seasons, only to face what's hidden beneath all my lesions. God chose me, then the angels enlightened me. Fight or flight, I chose the light and I sought advice. However, most of us are incapable of using our sight. They call themselves spiritual believers, but this world is just full of spiritual breeders. Darkness no longer hides, but disguises itself as light. It waits, it preys, it invites you in all right in plain sight. But you fall for it, cruel to it, try to brawl from it, cut ties from it, begin despising it. But it's too late. That was just your fate. 2244 came suddenly, unexpectedly, woke me up, never neglected me. 1111 found me first. Manifested some of my dreams, new intentions, new inventions, but 222 prepared me for my ascension. All I needed was an extension. The tide came along, twin Ray, twin... The tide came along, twin flame, twin ray, twin fire, twin light. He triggered the depths of my soul. Was that the goal? Found out where I was bleeding, my soul was screaming. I processed the hurt. Are we ever healed when we're not healing? Session 104 of therapy and I'm barely feeling. A Pisces at birth, when I crept up on this earth. The girl with the golden heart, a visionary of art, but they still couldn't commit. In this life, love never permits. All too scared to show an inch of vulnerability, but never hide and miss the opportunity for photos and stealing culture creativity. See, I'm convinced an unconditional love exists. But do any of us allow our self-love to coexist? Have you looked in the mirror and said, I love you and meant it? Or have you given too much to others and spent it? See, I was separated. Four souls were by the same misleader. He called himself a leader, nothing but a two-time cheater. Don't worry, I won't fear neither. I won't leave them either because God chose me. Higher awakening, spiritual leader. I woke to teach, to preach, to use my speech. I never stayed attached. I don't fear being attached. Life is for the living. When you give, are you really giving? Don't bite the hand that feeds you, but the hand controls what it feeds you. Narcissism isn't even the half of it. My story, you won't be able to fathom the half of it. Shadow work in a child work. Beneath them you won't lurk. Third eye, but are you actually woke? I see you searching, but you won't find it in what you smoke.
Loud. Say it again. Loud.
You heard the crowd?
Third eye, but are you actually woke? I see you searching, but you won't find it in what you smoke. It chooses you, the path you are destined for. Time heals, but attraction is the law. Manifestation isn't the writing or the picture board. I threw that out and saw my angels create my sword. A storyteller, a water sign. I'm the girl that's going to cause a bit of interruption. But why shouldn't I? It took 9,490 days to make my introduction. Tears, fears, panic attacks and anxiety. I turned to myself for the only real reliability. A reinvention, prepared by my ascension. I'm so done with all the vengeance. I can filter out adrenal. Those of you who knew me prior called me Heenal. But from now on, I am known as Heenal. I'll repeat it again. My name is pronounced as Heenal.
Say it again.
Thank you, everyone.
We will be going on a break. Just before we're going to break, firstly, just wanted to announce that on 23rd of August, your man Meta again will be curating another spoken event. With our headliners will be Charni and Oya. If you don't know who she is, you're gonna have to get to know. And just so you can understand what tonight is all about, tonight it's all about my man Haroon. And the edition today is Windows to the Spirit. So, man, if you got a window to your spirit, just remember we talked about the donations I mentioned earlier, right?
I love that.
Help out, you know. It's all about good spirits, good energy on my left. Where my man spoken in. So everyone, grab a drink. If you got a girl, feed your girl. If you ain't got a girl, grab a girl. But yeah, this grab with consent and food. There's bare munch. To kick off the next half, I'm gonna bring up the lyrical assassin, aka Swagga. Come on.
Sai. 1, 2, 3, 4. Minuto e You see, I gotta make these hearts skip a beat like I'm MJ on these streets, try to BJ. My Billie Jean to the go, baby girl was never gonna be mine. The boy is mine while I drink this brandy. With mine while I'm handy. This is my EP, so when I get this ID, there's no EMI that can spot this C. If you see this epidemic, just understand it was a DI before I got this ID. petroleum. So when I set fire to the booth, you know I'm gonna be owning it. Splitting the flames, like it should come with a fire warning. Dawning? You must be. Yawning? I don't think so. Brain wave. Well, I'm on these waves and trying to spin them flows like I'm Tony Hawk, trying to get on these skateboards, board with the skates, plates, smash. Thank you. I'm crazy, maybe. Well, I tantalize your every being. You know what you are seeing. It's S-U-P-E-R upon this S-T-A-R. That's why I always get high fives on these drive-bys. There's no fly-by, but if I'm making it team go blue, just understand there was always going to be one of you and two of me. Because there's never going to be that clone. Spitting bars so alone. You see, when I'm in my lonesome, it's always going to be wholesome bars. My spirits, no beers. But if I side the wave, if I decipher these waves and try to spin flames and try to split lanes and try to see me up on that switch games, I'm trying to split lanes and trying to see this with this bowling, trying to get 3 stripes so I can get 3 stripes upon his AP. If I need to have his ID, it's always gonna be AS because I'm AP, AT, AC. Now I spit these bars like Wheezy, break dead like C3, you don't see one. I'm already on his catalytic. So artistic, brain soldiers, over, sober, but barely drinking, but always thinking, now I'm slinking, into those DMs, when I get this MD, just know this is MC, MC squared. So there's never gonna be a motherfucker that will be me if you don't wanna compare. You see, this is a pair that we didn't come. So when I DOT, just know I'm DOT with these clones, driving solo. So they don't want to drive solo, but I must be so low that when I get my Jason Derulo, I had to kick it right back and drink that Jack Daniel's so cold. It's C-O, what's a K-E, now I must be getting that K-key, spit it right back till I get that pages, ages. Let me just ask you one thing right now. How much of this did you think was pre-written before I picked up this MIC? Cool. See, so how I can get that apple, because these girls must be the apple of my eye, but that shit was forbidden in the Eden. So I got these hazard warning lights and I took that apple and bit into it. That's why my AA is always going to be so into my throat. Before I get your coat, before you get your coat, just understand, these bars are going to be something that's going to be in your brain. Because I will be that Mr. Steal Your Gal and spin it right back and show her a new world. New world order. Slaughter. Move to the game with no quarterback. See, if I go QB, just understand there's only going to be one B. There's no B-A-E because no one else can come before me. And the person coming after me, let me just do one thing. I pray for you. Because I burn these mics so hard, and even if the AC is on, just know that shit's gonna be so hot, and as time is done. So as my so sorry gets to my crew, I suggest it's Swagga Lyrical Assassin, done.
Everyone always assumes this person is from Brum. So did I, I'm one of those people. And I find out she's actually from the west side.
West side?
Everyone give a round of applause for Noor. Come on.
Yeah.
That's my friend.
That's my friend.
I know
Hello,
her.
everyone. Love you too, bro. Okay, so I was thinking about what to do today, and I just feel like BYOB is a real comfy space. Like, I love a good love wherever the hell he is.
He's right in front of you.
Oh, there he is, isn't it? Yeah, I love everyone here. Like, this is just a real comfy space. Like, this space feels like home. So I'm gonna do something personal today. Yeah, so bear with me if I forget and have to grab my phone. Sorry, innit? We are the writers, the ones pulling all-nighters to figure out what life is. We write to gain clarity. Our words are given as charity to those humble enough to take them. We don't know it all. And see, maybe we're the ones that fall because we take paracetamol for everyone's headaches. Listen, we don't know it all. And see, maybe we're the ones at fault, because see, we take paracetamol for everyone's headaches. See, the anxiety that brings, taking medicine that you don't even need. Look, I don't know about you, but at night I lie awake completely still, but somehow I still shake because it's all too much to take. Why doesn't anyone trust? Look, it's 2,000 years not enough for us to have learned that we just need love. Learning to love. Learning lust isn't enough. Learning to love everyone. Not love because you want to fuck, but love because you are made from the same mud. Love is the answer. From the writers to you. Take it if you're humble enough to. See, sometimes I have to read off the page. Well, not my page, my phone, because if I took a page to the stage, it would shake, and then I'd hear it. I'd get distracted and my voice would break, and I'd start to shake like the paper shakes. Because see, when I get to the stage sometimes, I forget I'm sick sometimes. I start feeling sick sometimes, and I've got to take a breath, I hold it in. See, now I think I'm wasting time. I forget how effortlessly I can rhyme. I mean, I'm sublime, kind of trying to find See, my message is only a percentage of the passage. There is no advantage in my message if I don't hear yours too. So come through. Let us hear you. See, I want to talk about what brought me to this stage. See, mostly, someone turn their phone off. See, I want to talk about what brought me to this stage. See, mostly, it was a little girl that was so filled with rage. It's like from a really young age, she learned that when she writes things down on a page, that page will take away that rage. So she cried. Because she didn't understand why she was told not to cry even though she was upset. Why did she take on their stress? Why didn't no one ask if she was okay when she was clearly in pain? Why is it now she can't trust people? But she don't want to seem feeble, so she has to be strong. Now she can't cry. She's built dams in her eyes to stop the streams becoming rivers, but now there's a drought. Until of course someone shouts, because if you shout at me, I will cry. Look, she's repressed those feelings so deep, she can't even feel the ground beneath her feet, but she can still catch a beat. See, I think I'm a writer. I'm really good at that. I can doubt my performance, my delivery, but see, my pen game is unmatched. See, poetry is for me. And for me, poetry is to let your mind run free. Poetry is words without a beat that come together so rhythmically. They have the whole crowd tapping their feet and clicking their fingers to the same beat.
Come on.
See, poetry for me is like free psychiatry. I write to try to understand society, but sometimes I just write down my dreams. I write down what I'm going to be, how no one's going to stop me. I write down a list of all the things I can achieve, and see, on the top of that list is believe in me.
Come on.
See, poetry, it's like being figuratively on your knees, asking God, please, help me understand what it means to be me, because look, I want to believe, but I don't know what to be. Is it the trauma that shaped me that makes me? The coping mechanisms, the constant inhibitions, the complete lack of boundaries that have me smiling so blindly, even you start to believe you know me. But I don't even know who I am. None of this was my plan. See, my dad liked whiskey with his tea. And sometimes he would shout and mum would scream, and see, when their voices were beat, I'd bring dad his whiskey and I'd take mum her tea, then dad would pour us sweet and fall asleep. See, mum smoked a cigarette before she went to bed. She said it helped with the stress in her head. I said, Mum, for stress, there's meds, but she said she'd rather be dead. Look, I want to know if I like whiskey or if I like tea. I want to know if I shout or if I scream. Is it tobacco or weed, Annie? Look, I want to know what's me. What is toxicity? What is it that you taught me? What's actually me? I think about it as I pour some whiskey in my tea. Look, I don't even like whiskey or tea. I prefer coffee, and I hate it when people shout and scream. Why can't we all just speak politely, nicely? I wonder. I'm younger. I look back at the reflection in my cup, staring back at me. You stare so blankly, and you're asking me, who are you? I don't know. All I know is, it's me and you. And we've got to make it through this thing called life. Fuck's sakes. It'd be a lot easier if everyone else was just a little bit more nice. Thank you.
Noor didn't come alone tonight. Everyone, give a round of applause for M.I. For M.I. Come on.
Hello. Hey. No, because how the fuck am I meant to carry on now? But right, you're go.
Right away.
So this piece, well, also it's my first time at BYOB, so shout out all of you.
First time.
This piece is a his and hers perspective. Gonna go back and forth on a female-male perspective. So let's go. She said, hold on.
Hey, come on.
She said, I let you in with that beaming smile. You were all my dreams wrapped in one. You took my breath away for a while. I looked in the mirror and said, girl, you've won. A few months down the line, the fun stopped. You were hardly ever around. All the emotions and feelings dropped. Very different to the man I had crowned. You came home one night, I questioned where you were, and you held me with all your might. A new girl? Am I really that mad? All these accusations and you got real mad. I smelled the perfume on your shirt, an aroma of Calvin Klein. I always knew you were a flirt. Was someone sending a sign? I packed your bags and told you to leave. I need to respect me.
Say it again. Tell him.
I packed your bags and told you to leave. I need to respect me. He turned around and said, I hate how you say I'm acting different. Why are you talking about our past as if I could fix it? A few months ago, I thought we could go the distance. Now I'm sat here reminiscing. A broken past that I can't fix. I want love and it ain't this. Love is like a painting, depending how the paint sits, you either love it or you hate it. I called you on your birthday, wished a happy belated. Made up an excuse about how I couldn't make it. I knew that I was faking, but I knew that you were taking. You was good to me, but I was never good to you, and I'm sorry that I couldn't tell you the truth. Knowing damn well I regret the things that I do. Now I'm here missing you. She said, you say that you love me, then why are you leaving me here? No one around me now and I'm seeing it clear. Spending time with her but you never call me now. I thought I was enough but she's better all around. Cause I wish I would have said more, cause now I'm in a head war of letting you go versus you're the one I'm meant for.
Say it again.
Wow.
I would have said more, cause now I'm in a head war of letting you go versus you're the one I'm meant for. What about the wedding? I thought it'd be nice. It's only been a minute and I thought of it twice. Now every time I call you, you say that I'm crazy, telling me to let go of everything that made me. Breathe a little deeper, see a little deeper. Pardon me, baby, if I seem a little weaker. You don't want to talk, so I'm turning my back. You don't seem to care that I'm hurting real bad. The chick that you're with now, pleasing you know, but I think it hurt more seeing you go. He said, I can't say more than I already have. I miss you and it hurts real bad. I contemplated crawling back to you, I just can't face what I put you through. Every single second, the thoughts come flooding. Against the wall, my head starts fudding. I've lost the best and I don't deserve better. I've let you go and it explains why in this letter. Maybe with me, without me in your life will be better.
Time should be amazing. Everyone give a round of applause for Reya Saint. Come on.
Go, Reya. Oh, deep ones. Deep. You know it's good when they have to sit down.
No, it's mainly because I need to pee.
That's just going to add to the tension and emotion of the piece.
Exactly.
Come on.
Poo poo. Yeah. This poem is called I Confess. Yeah. And can I just say before I start, because it's not 4 minutes, I have some time just to pick up BYOB. This is my favourite poetry event. I've only been here you never have a bad time coming here and everyone's always sick.
Thank you for blessing us. Thank you for coming.
Cool, so this is I Confess. My hope is still trying to decide whether or not I believe there's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow flag. Because there is smoke blowing through the coloured sky, and I'm afraid that if I look, the bottom will be burning where the loop should be, and I will walk ash through my dreams before they're ready to die.
Ooh, that's...
So I don't look for the gold. I hold on to the hope that even when it's going bad, the good survives. I hope that you will see the good in me even if God doesn't. I start to lose faith in the fantasy of all God's children being equal because our Father is only yours. I pray to the God who I'm told will always listen, by people who tell me he doesn't like what he hears when I speak my heart, knowing that my truth has already tattled on me. Because God hears what is and isn't spoken, reads what isn't written yet by the broken who struggle to convey the crack in their voices when confessing their curses on paper. I cover my cracks. by plastering them with humor, dark, because opposites attract and I'm searching for the light in my pain. Will you tell God that I tried to stop sinning but my efforts were all in vain? Will you read him the letter that I wrote to you at 13? The one where I told you I let unholy hands hold me if they promised to mold me into a straighter shape. Where I told you I swallowed my shame down dry like the pills that I was taking to forget my condition, this affliction. Where I told you that I wasn't just burdened by my mistakes, but pregnant with one, and that I knew that 13 was too young for that kind of accident to be considered happy. Will you tell him that I only told you these things because I hoped it would make you less mad at me? That I thought the only chance you might accept me in my entirety, in the truth of my sexuality, is if I relieved you from those lies. Without release from those things, would you have told me your goodbyes? Would you have walked out of my life? I will never know. Time has only told one story. Where you placed yourself as the hero and my sexuality something worth saving me from. Allow me to be baptized in the bathtub, or rather exorcised without my authorization, but the water in which I was bathed was not holy enough to render me saved. And more than a decade later, I'm still in the same place. I'm sorry to have put a plot twist in your predictions, but for me, being gay was not a phase. Not a stain you could wash from the fabric of my being. I have cried to God so many times, convinced that I was dirty, and I never heard back. But I know that he heard me, so why would he never return the call? Maybe it wasn't worth answering after all. Maybe God doesn't have the heart to take love away from mine. Maybe he can't correct mistakes that he can't find, and maybe he didn't make any. I've heard that he doesn't, and you believe that faithfully, but you still have the nerve to tell me you don't agree. I never came seeking your permission. I didn't ask for your consent. I wrote you an admission, crossed the lines that you drew because rules were made for bending. Folded that letter into a confessional booth and allowed the four walls to speak once you'd entered. Because I wasn't coming out, I just let you in. I'll share. Thank you so much.
I'm not going to say much more than that as well, apart from the fact that she is my poetry mother. She's the reason why I'm called soft spoken. She's the reason why I got started. Every single time I went to the show, it was always like, you know, when you can get on to the mic. It took me 2 years to do that, and it is my greatest honor to tell you to stomp your feet. I told you to stomp your feet. Clap your hands. The one, the only, Prestige Karlla!
Come on.
Woo!
Excellent.
What an introduction. Thank you, Angela. Honestly, it's beautiful. You lot are all beautiful people. So I started doing poetry many years ago, and I was a curator before I was a performer, so I was a guest on my own stage. So without further ado, let me plug before I just walk off after the poem. On the 25th of August, I will be hosting the Prestige Table, which is a new platform, but it's in Hemel Hempstead. It is one train into Hemel, so I don't think it's too far. Same way if you go to South, you can go the other way. But on the 25th of August, you can get me at Prestige Karlla Speak, and I'll give you all the info, but it's all love and light. So hope you enjoy. I don't have a name for the poem yet, so hopefully one of you can help me at the end. It's overwhelming. I'm sick to my stomach at how parallel our worlds are becoming. I fought and fight to distance our cosmic connections, yet you keep pursuing. I resist all reconciling with reckoning you are en route to wreck me, but you reckon I'm resisting what's meant to be. I'm usually quite quick at diverting my attention to things more tangible. Though I don't grasp you, neither me, onto you, I can't seem to leave this tightly knotted unspoken unity. I'm enraged inside my mind, inside these thighs. I can't deny I'm softened under flashbacks of winter nights and summer vibes.
Oh my God.
Why do I indulge in sensitive moments with you when I'm at home, when alone, when no one's around, just my thoughts, my vulva and memories in my phone? You don't get to stimulate me from so far. Most times I know to you I'm desiring your silk soft touch, which makes the hairs on my neck stand up. At work I'll sit and flex my spine in a slow motion twine, just wondering through my mind about the maybe of the next grind meets slow wine in another lifetime. But I know it's all thoughts and visions, memories of being christened, caressing your arms, back to neck, us close, chest to chest. So I sit solemnly with my psyche and chant. You're toxic, you're toxic, toxic, toxically intricate, intimate. Toxic intimacy is what you bring to me. Once again I'm conflicted, all muscles tense, raised and not resisting, off into a dream I go. Even when I try so hard to let go, you're part of my sexual flow. And our memoirs taunt me. Denounce your thoughts of me. I demand you set me free, so I get to be the most wholesome me for somebody who deserves all my glory. And glorious is she, me, all of what you want me to be. I am your scarf, wrap my most tender parts around your neck and let each flex soothe your tension. I am your glass, sip from me the sweetest herbal tea you will ever need, so luxurious and overflowing with flavors. I am your jeans, place your leg firmly into place and let the night stars clasp your zip around our waist. Finally, I am your home, find me. Come into me and find comfort in the coziest of rooms. I have naturally been preparing for you for a lifetime. I need to release these memories of moments magnified each minute I'm without you. My sexual lifeline. A thorn's rose of mine, of which I prick my finger each time. Finally, you are my only unsolicited craving, and I continually pursue this mission knowing you're no good for me. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everybody. See, I've been writing since I was 5, and it makes me feel so damn alive. See, right here up on the stage, I'm gonna thrive. Watch me, I'm gonna do me. Okay, let's go. You see, black history has always been a mystery to me. You see, in school they never taught any of that to me. Well, all we ever talked about was World War I and World War II. What about the black people suffering? Wasn't any of that real and true? What about a different kind of war that was fought? One for equal rights and justice, yeah, how about that? Teaching us about medieval queens and kings, but what about the legend? What about the meaning of servitude he chose to bring? What about the legend Martin Luther King? Why didn't we hear about that in history class? Is it because that wasn't part of a normal history maths? At the age of 10, I chose to go on my own self-discovery of the meaning of black history. I didn't want it to be such a mystery to me. Embraced for truth, taught myself, collected books from a library shelf. Yes, I read a damn book. I decided to have a look. Watched films on black civil rights. My interest in black history began when I hit double figures. Watched their marches and the Marxists, watched their fights take many forms. Peaceful protests, sit-ins and bus boycotts. Segregated seats, towns and no-go zones. Where it wasn't safe for those of colour to be alone. Strung up on trees with anguish and despair, they were brought to their knees. Rosa Parks, Martin Luther, Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Nelson Mandela, their purpose in standing up for today's free world. Why weren't we ever taught about their freedom marches? It was plain to see we weren't to know about the role of the ANC. Freedom fighters inspired so many songwriters, fought for a cause, drawing attention to the world's discriminatory flaws. It was only recently that I heard about an unknown king. A friend enlightened me, so I looked him up. Mansa Musa, that's his name, she said. No mention of any bloodshed. A celebrity king to many with gold and riches he chose to bring, ruling over the Mali Empire unto many with his riches he gave them their every desire. I wish I'd known about this decades ago. Why is it more than 20 years it took for me to get to know? Learning about a black king was a stark contrast to black slaves. The media portrayed was the biggest part of black history. Black inventors, why weren't we told about these people to be celebrated and elevated? Life-changing devices they created, a laser able to cure cataract, the creator of which Patrick E. Bath, that's her name to be exact, creator of instant coffee and peanut butter, George Washington Carver, that's the name to utter. Otis Boykin, serial inventor and electronics genius. Let's look at the life-changing devices he's brought to us. Patented a wire resistant, ordered by organisations like the US military and IBM. Unknowingly to many, this device invented by Boykin was one that's hidden by many under their skin. Yes, that black inventor helped create the pacemaker. There's many more inventors to get to know, including the one responsible for making the light bulb glow. The carbon filament found in many light bulbs, that was his creative fulfillment. Looking closer to home, this list is far from exhausted. So for many that are unnamed, don't be dismissive. What makes up black British history? How about we look at it a different way? So something more modern day. The facts of both influence and injustice need to be a mystery. Lenny Henry, the comic fame for filling your lungs with laughter. On stage and screen he's a grafter. Martin Lawrence killed for his colour, on his way home from school left to bleed, oh yes indeed. Tragedy struck that innocent boy. His family fought on a war and racism, fighting fuss and injustice, so their boy didn't die for anything less than this. Lennox Lewis, famously a fist fighter, multiple ring battles to our TV screens he did bring, dubbed the most successful British sportsman of all time. On track and field, Linford Christie made athletic history. Anthony Walker senselessly killed, walking through a Liverpool park, brutal and barbaric. With his death was born a legacy, a foundation for those affected by hate crime. Frank Bruno, an infamous boxer, now advocate of mental health. The latter, did you know? How about Cleopatra and Misha being Mancunian musicians, making a stand on musical history? With so many to name, isn't it a shame that we are left to pose a question? Why are we only given 1 month a year for black society to be elevated and celebrated with mere media cheer? How about showing daily love and respect to brothers and sisters that have fought to be here? Thank you.
Calling next to the stage, I was intrigued by the poet's name, because the poet's name is a dope poem. If you know, you know. So everyone, please make a round of noise for first time at BYOB, She Rise.
So this one's untitled, it's new. Yeah, I don't know. As I contemplate the journey thus far, I recall the soul fragments caused by your cataclysm. How your etheric light cord struck chords in my heartstrings and caused it to fracture.
Come on.
My splintered heart has been dissonant. And yet, although I have tried to refrain, your soul sings the remedy for this melody, and here we are in a symphony. I sing to you and you sing to me. In tandem, souls whisper. I'm here pondering the ways in which your love has imprisoned me to set me free. How consuming you has intoxicated me and left me breathless, restless. Dry tears and silent screams as I lay hypnotized in my dreams. My heart has been broken by you and healed by you. You have been both the poison and the antidote. You are the medicine. I see why I chose you and why you chose me. It took someone who could be so thirsty to I see why I chose you and why you chose me. It took someone who could be so fiercely committed to choosing love that they would choose to journey this earthly realm for me. You chose to forget to remember. Lifetimes cross timelines and create lifelines. We are soul tied. Against all odds, we defied. Wow, the honor is surely mine. Your service in this multiverse is incomprehensible. And as I journey to remember and call back my bones, I have never been truly alone. You see, your lifetimes leave footprints in the sand for me as I journey home. Thank you for choosing to break my heart open so that I can know the magnitude of love, the magnitude of you, the magnitude of me.
That being said, ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for someone who headlined for the first time yesterday. My man, Luke Jaime! He's putting my shirt to shame. Thank you. Hey everyone. I'm Luke Jaime. Yes, you are. Poet, otherwise known as Skywalker. I wrote this poem for the poets in recognition of our faith in poetry. Because we look for these ideas, we write down these ideas, we practice these ideas, and we perform these ideas, all for 5 minutes. How many hours involved these 5 minutes? This is for us. And as I think there's more than one poet in the room, I'd like some interaction just for the first line of this poem. Okay? This could be like Simon Says, but everybody wins. No losers. Okay? So I'm going to say one word, I'd like you to say it back for me. So, Amen. Amen. Okay, very good. All rise from our seats to our feet.
Oh wow, interaction. Everyone.
All rise from our seats to our feet and say Amen. Amen. Thank you. Please be seated.
Oh wow. Wow. All right. I'm thinking this doesn't.
Glorious Father, open the heavens and the mic. We're word playing with fire to set this church of our poetic faith alight. Where rhymes grow like grapes in this vineyard of rhymes like vines. Intoxicating words until our blood becomes wine. Through our divine communion, words on the page are unbottled and poured out all over this stage. We've had happy and sad, roses and rosé, poets from Rosette to Row A. Tried, tired, tied by blood ties to this church of all creeds, where we forgive all misdeeds, though some people do be saying a lot. The only line us poets clock you stumbling over is the thin line on the face of our watch, where we might get grim and cut you off like life if you run out of time. We are gathered here today because in poetry, everybody has something to say. This is our shrine, and we're dying to make our offering, sacrificing our fear to speak our truth and alter our lives. We are already worthy. I can feel it in the way we're shuffling our feet. We all came here starving for something, and since 3, I haven't had anything to eat. Let that hunger be long lasting. I don't know if I believe in God, but clearly I'm fasting. Let the words that I father be the longest lasting, because all poets believe in this divinity. We spend all day, a couple of weeks preparing forever for our 5-minute slot. How do you explain acts of creation in that world logically? Once the words are out of our mouths, we know they're literally out of our hands. On stage, we're in touch with some higher power that could reorchestrate our entire life plans. This is our closest communicating connection to fate. Who knows what future stage our feet will meet? We can't see it yet. Tomorrow is our blind date. This is the difference between speaking words and spoken word. This is our hearts on the line. We have one chance. Make a soul mistake and we lose it. Us poet priests roaming the streets, hoping to preach because we can't miss a beat.
Dealing with failure is fine. I'm metaphorically praying, sooner death come, then deliver a flatline. Our body of poetical work becomes our temple. If we bring the light, what shine will we inherit? In our different directions, we're always aiming for consistency, because all ways lead to the spirit. Our kind are pantheistic. All poets are praised in this promised land. But sometimes, my mind is monotheistic. I want to be the one and only poet that we worship. That's how angels are cast from heaven to hell. And this land of light becomes shadow. I stand on bones with no marrow. With only one fish swimming, even the ocean becomes shallow. So put your watch away, but keep watching. I've got more time on my hands to be carried away in my own flow to wherever this path of faith permits us to go. This river is lyrical. I can't perform miracles, but right now, I'm a performing miracle.
Yes. Yes.
If you don't have eyes to see, you ought to have ears to hear that I talk on water.
Say that one again. Say that one again right now.
I can't. I can't perform miracles, but right now I'm a performing miracle. If you don't have eyes to see, you ought to have ears to hear that I talk on water. Universe reflected in my page. Us poets, maybe we don't get paid, but water is healing, and our hands always hold change. I'd like to introduce to the stage. His name is Saint, his work is Saint. The child that forgot. Everyone make a round of applause. First time performing at BYOB. Come on. I ain't this up for 2 years. Come on, come on. Oh yeah. Yeah.
So, I'm the child that forgot. Who or what is the child that forgot? When it's both you and I stuck in the tides and vines of this unkind yet perfect world. This is the young boys and girls. This is the previous generations racing toward a ray of hope, untying ourselves from these shackles and ropes. Because as we have all failed to recollect who we truly are and therefore lost our consciousness, you too have formed into a child who constantly forgets. That there's a world deep within all of us. There is light and spirit that resonates within all of us. That we can all rise above the hate and greed and no longer fall for lust. This is about you, me, and all of us. Our commonality is that we are all lost spirits of our true purpose to surface our higher connection, and in that direction, we are all the child that forgot. So the next one we all call Room Conversations. This is a letter to my unborn child. And in the future, I hope you play this, just in case I do not make it. Or see this as an expression on how worried I am about what your fate is. See, the faithless got a strong hold on this matrix. And the basis of this world is to feed the young boys and girls with lust, anger, and greed. Now you wonder why I pray for protection for all of my seeds. And see... Lost in the Matrix. See, the faithless got a strong hold on this matrix. And the basis of this world is to feed the young boys and girls with lust, anger, and greed. Now you wonder why I pray for protection for all of my seeds. And see, you have me find. We love to push our kids behind by institutionalizing them into being hypnotized by these lies that we see on our screens or that we hear on the news. This is what we all call psychological child abuse. Yes. And beauty only seen on the outside will be outlined as your popularity by the majority. If only we could see eye to eye, but it's always an eye for an eye, and I'm already predicting how many wars you will witness in one night. And sight of the mass population has become impaired. No one is seeing clear of how these leaders have started to steer us away from the truth. An uneducated education system, that is the proof. So young child, I tell this to you, so that you can be the change when no one wants to. And most people you come across are trying to keep up an appearance, but when you look deep under, they're clothed in a fashion of fearing. In a new collection of envy and in an old season of hate. As they rear all these, they put themselves in the judge's seat. Every conversation's transforming into a debate. So let all of this resonate deep within your simpleness, because the impotence, indolence, and infamous impetus to break down your innocence is only a birth away. So we kneel and pray that you are a lion amongst the sheep, that you are flying beyond the lying, hypocrisy, and deceit, that you're brave enough to take a generational leap, that you're able to move mountains even in your sleep, that you don't view others only as skin surface, but see so deep. Let your heart grow so deep that you're fixed in moving beyond the broken movements. As the blind lead the blind into more confusion, we'll do everything to remove the veil of illusion, so that you can finally see that the truth shall set you free. The truth shall set you free. So this is a letter to my unborn child. And in the present, I hope you somehow hear this. This is a letter to my unborn child, and in the present, I hope you somehow hear this. So that you can prepare for all that you may witness, and take an early rise to righteousness and greatness. Our child. Thank you.
Calling on next to the stage, I want to take credit for this one. So I asked his poetry name. He didn't have a poetry name, he gave me his name. So I asked, is it just question mark? And he went, yeah. So for now, his poetry name is Just George. Coming to the stage for the first time, make a round of applause for Just George. Apologies, guys. I must have been at home when he's been performing. He's been here a couple of times.
There you go. It's more than just a word, it's a feeling. And this feeling isn't very appealing. It's a feeling that I've had before, and it's either a feeling that you're currently feeling or a feeling you've had in the past. But believe me when I say that this is the sort of feeling that you don't want to last. And this feeling is a feeling that I call trouble. Trouble. I hate the feeling of feeling trouble, the minor tour that follows you around life's labyrinth trouble, the 7-letter echo that echoes in between your concave caves, trouble, trouble, trouble. Trouble. The t-shirt that no longer fits my worried states. Are my troubles ever gonna fade away? Oh, you should be prepared for that feeling of pure elation when trouble fades away, or at least that's what they say. See, I know trouble can be conquered, but recently it seems to me as though I need to rename my trouble Boomerang because it keeps on coming back. I feel as though I need an L plate on my back to let everybody know that I am still learning how to cope. Each and every issue molds into a teardrop of torment, forming then falling into the depths of my soul, growing and developing into a tidal wave of struggle. What started off as a single teardrop soon turned into a deep, deep puddle. My psyche is in a muddle. It's been in and out of trouble since trouble was double. I've got trouble in my mind. Bear in mind, I've had trouble getting my head out from under the rubble. It's a struggle, it's a troubling muddle. My trouble, but your trouble, combined to ignite a symphony of struggle. Me, myself and I, a treble that is troubling me. Or gather close in a huddle for the others to see. Feel like I'm stuck in a bubble, the pressure's troubling me. I'm the first man on a new beginning. I'm like Adam on New Year's Eve. I'm the first man on a new beginning. I'm like Adam on New Year's Eve. Jeez. It's more troublesome than you could ever believe. The hope amidst the trouble is what helps me achieve. It's the light that I see that helps me perceive the truth in my reality. In reality, trouble is a source that saddens me. No HPs, the level of trouble that affects me greatly. Sometimes it feels as though I can feel trouble innately. Will I be feeling trouble when I'm 80? Does it grow or go with age? Is it double in the next chapter or triple on the next page? Because my trouble is the worst of me. It's the part I tend to hate with rage. And now and then again I reminisce about the yesterdays when all my troubles seem so far away.
Karaoke.
And now and then again I reminisce about the yesterdays when all my troubles seem so far away. Because when my trouble hits the hardest, it always seems as though it's here to stay. It's always those that tell me to let my trouble be free. They say, let it be. For it's got a bigger part to play. But trouble leaves me lost and so stressed, like following a broken GPS. Trouble is obstructing my direction. Trouble in my image creates a distorted complexion. A crack in my mind's mirror leaves a state of mind in need of correction. A twisted reflection, twisting my reality and filling it with seeds of imperfection. My sanity and insanity meet at an intersection. Sometimes I wonder if the line is blurred, or if between these two parts there's a distinctive connection. Whenever I'm lost, it leaves me waiting for some sort of healing to be found. If trouble is a sound, it would be a deafening thud or a persistent tap. When it is deafening, it sounds as though it's meddling with everything. When it's a tap, it's a constant voice that won't let you answer back. You see, trouble seems like double when the trouble is stacked. The trouble stays like stubborn if it isn't attacked. So attack it, hijack it, topple the tower of trouble and don't be the one to restack it. Because trouble it's a disease, and this disease is so tragic. But overcoming trouble is the greatest form of magic. Thank you.
I'm gonna call next to the stage someone who hasn't performed here, I think, before. Hopefully this time I'm right. Everyone give a round of applause for Aaron NT.
So this first poem is called If, and the second one is called Go to the Old. So if, this is for a friend by the way, so if only you could see yourself the way that I see you, or see me, seeing you. See, I know what things are like between me and you. And if I zone out, I'm sorry. I'm probably daydreaming of you, so let me tell you the truth. If I had one wish, it wouldn't be just to be your friend. See? If I had one wish, it wouldn't be to hit it first, even if I had one wish, it would be to hold your hand until the very end. See?
Back to the first I said the radio to come out.
Let's go again. If only you could see yourself the way that I see you, or see me, seeing you. See, I know what things are like between me and you, and if I zone out, I'm sorry. I'm probably daydreaming with you, so let me tell you the truth. If I had one wish, it wouldn't be just to be your friend. It wouldn't need to hear it first even now. If I had one wish, it would be to hold your hand until the very end. See, listen, I know I'm being pretentious, obtuse and moronic. More times it's just platonic, or at least that's what I say, but if you told me that you want it, I wouldn't turn you away. I don't love you. I don't love you yet. Can you sense the hope in my word selection? I'm in love with the idea of you, so if I stare at my phone on a FaceTime, I'm not pre my reflection, I'm admiring perfection. It's so funny because you actually think you look bad. If only you can see yourself the way that I see you, or see me, seeing you.
Let's make it happen.
I'll go with this one's quick in it, but it's called An Ode to the Old. So this is an ode to anybody who feels as if it's old, who feels like they've been left out in the cold, who feels uninvited, who feels excluded, who feels undecided on their future, feels like they're fucking stupid, like, who feels like they won't ever get their big break, who feels like everything good in their life is a mistake, or feels like everything's gonna end really sour, who feels like they don't deserve anything good in their life and feels like they've never really held any power. See, this is an ode to anybody who feels as if it's owed, anybody who feels old, who feels as if they've grown up too quickly, who feels as if their childhood was robbed from them, or maybe it was their innocence, I don't know, but who knows, this is an ode to anybody who wishes it was 2016 again. anybody who wishes they were 16 again, who has a playlist with a title with a reference to better times. The girl who everyone called clapped in year 9, but now it's all changed, it's all heart eyes and excuse me miss, can I get your name? Like, this is an ode to anybody who feels as if it's old. To the boy who showed more emotion than his peers. The one who didn't want to fuck girls at 15, and every time he declined to play sports, he was labeled a pussy or a bitch. This is an ode to those with darker skin who people joke and say they couldn't see in the dark. But now they're all left confused at the sudden apparent attraction, like what? But this is for those who aren't shaped like Kim or Nikki or any of the Instagram models, and they're all called improper factions. This is an ode to anybody who was silenced, anybody who witnessed or received a form of violence. This is to anybody who tried to trust but then had it betrayed. Anybody who's been at home and felt afraid. Anybody who's been in a room full of people and still felt alone. Who stayed up and waited and sat by the phone and they never got a call or even a text. Who feels as if they will never be looked at as more than sex. See, this is an ode to those I didn't even mention. To those who are still seeking attention. This is an ode, this isn't even 1% of what you're owed, but it's the best I can do for right now. So I said this is an ode to anybody who feels as if it's owed. I pray you get everything that you're owed. Thank you.
She's also an author. She got 2 books. Everyone give a round of applause for my girl, Charni.
Okay, this poem's called Welcome to the Graveyard of Broken Hearts. Welcome to the graveyard of broken hearts. A cemetery dedicated to where love caved in. A burial ground to collect all the broken bits. Grave after grave for all the aches and pains. Tombs tend to make everything tender. It's a shrine for all the strength and scars we endured. Funerals are held for our feelings. It is not our ruins. That's why some funerals are open casket. They are crypts for our cryptic feelings. Headstones are a projection of heartbreak, not made to scale, but rooted to the ground. It's sad how everything is set, even if the death is abrupt. Meet me at the mortuary to see if you can mend. It's not always that straightforward, but people try nonetheless. There's a crematorium that sets fires to the chips on people's shoulders, chipping away at whole chunks of your heart as though it was burning coal. It's fossil fuels for your feelings when the spark has left someone's eyes and then eventually yours. No one tells you this about grief. It becomes a relic of the relationship you used to have. Ghosts and ghouls bruise the gems of what made someone real. A memorial service becomes a humble explosion. Flat, fractured, and yet intact, with jagged edges that part you as a person so rapidly that you become a reduced version of yourself, wondering how to be restored. An undertaker hacks at your heart while a coffin is lowered 6 feet deep. It creates divisions between those around it, telling us that this is fixed. We hold hands because our stomach is in knots. Tears slip so easily that you don't know when they started or they stopped. We snatch glances at the epitaph because it splits you every time you look at it. The arrival of the hearse is not the departure of the broken heart. It's purgatory. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you were given a taster of your future headline on August the 23rd in BYOB. She's trying to keep it humble. Family, you know, when family is like, yo, you know, I've got a little, I'm trying to do X, Y, and Z. Give me some funds, you kind of want to donate. So don't forget to donate to your family. It's sad to say we've reached the last performer of the open mic. I said we've reached the last performer of the open mic. Well, you're meant to go on. You're excited, like, rah. You might want to go home like that. So it's our first time performing BYOB, another first time on. Her poetry name is T's Poetry. So everyone, give a round of applause for T's Poetry and open your ears.
Yeah, I'm overwhelmed with the talent in the room today. I'm a bit nervous, as you can tell.
You got this, got this.
I first came here in March 2020, and I really regretted not signing up to open mic, but just like then, it was very comfortable, very welcoming, so I'm kind of starting my poetry journey again. Bear with me. Cry. Allow the tears to drip from your eyes. Oh, can I start again?
Yeah, wheel it.
Cry. Allow the tears to drip from your eyes to your lips. You have to remember that salty taste. As the ocean absorbs your pain, give permission to the waves to erase your footprints in the sand. So you know for definite there's no turning back on God's plan. Let the wind carry away your hurt, doubt, the cloudy days. And when you find yourself sinking in the sea's depths, look up with a clear mind, see the clear skies, know the way.
Come on.
And when you find yourself sinking in the sea's depths, look up with a clear mind, see the clear skies, the way the sun shines without obstruction. You'll find in the ruins of your sandcastles along the way that more often than not we're the cause of our own destruction. Yet still we build. So when you find yourself at the edge of the pier, peering out over your ocean of tears, let the heat be the solace to your chilled bones, the breeze a reminder of those growing pains, the rain a thought of new beginnings, that we may understand that along the way seasons change. With that growth is an aspect that's inevitable. Because they say, be careful of soul ties. As it starts to unravel, the soul cries, we're not really sure why. Something begins to be missing inside and we can't seem to find it. Deep breaths, we go again. No matter how many times we count to 10, try to seek it, it still hides. Stuck on a roundabout, trying to give way to the right way. To our demise, we can't seem to get the exit right. Left struggling to sleep at night. Eating seems like a battle we have to fight. It's hard to say, as our soul cries, we cry. Because our heart's breaking more and more inside. When what we're used to is no longer there, the distance seems unfair. The distance seems unfair, yet we continue to wish and hope for a God that's clearly broken.
It is time! And make some noise for Haroon!
Get off the plane first. God rewards a bias for action. Journey across borders and continents. Tread the earth gently, unlike those who forced us to abandon our lands. Once self-sufficient and abundant, now chief importers, exacerbating deficits. Get off the plane first. Breathe in the air. Free from dust. Thick with prejudice and assumptions. Let your feet adjust to roads paved by cold weather and colder hearts. Make a home laced with anxious talk of repatriation. I was born of all of this. Defeating anger is joyful. Resentment dissipates. My elders focused on survival so I could thrive. Their care intertwined with dysfunction and neglect. Hurt people hurt people. It's time to draw a line under all of it. Process it, document it, and then build. Press play to let the movie begin. Thank you. ADHD, which means I'll probably chat your ear off if you ever talk to me afterwards. I'm also autistic, which means I can be awkward as fuck at times. And the fact that I have both just means, as my girlfriend would tell you, I'm constantly at war with myself every day. That first poem is called Press Play to Let the Movie Begin, and it's taken from my first book that's going to come out in the first half of next year. It is also called Press Play to Let the Movie Begin, and as you can tell, I love movies. I spent more time in the cinema than I did actually in the lecture hall when I was at university. How I ended up with a 2-1, God only knows. So today, the set that I'm going to do, it's basically going to be a story, and like movies are told in 3 acts. This set is going to be told in 3 acts. You just saw the first act, just press play to let the movie begin. And that's just a little intro to me. Child of immigrants, offspring of dysfunction, but someone who's looking to transcend all of that.
Let's go.
Yes. Second act, we've got 3 poems. I'm going to take you on a journey through mental health and neurodiversity, but the thread that seems to carry me through all of it is going to be love. And then the final act, it's going to be about getting past that. It'll be in 2 parts, dealing with mental health, and then ending on joy, the light at the end of the tunnel. So Act 2, Part 1. Love is. Loving is risky, like swimming in open water. Even when you feel safe, it's momentary. Speak with your heart. Learn to communicate directly. Your mind's silence will not save you, and neither will a self-help guide to feeling better. Love is unpredictable. It's not selfish. Love is when another person feels like home. Their body, their mind, the moments shared. A home, not a house. Our North Star, our Qibla, predetermined at the point of conception in a record handwritten by honourable scribes. Love is what we as men were taught to swerve while wearing a straitjacket made of anger, rage and repressed tears through screw faces and clenched jaws. My heart has thawed, not momentarily. Love is me feeding my bow and our friends from my own table with fresh food prepared from only the finest ingredients in my pantry. Thank you. Act 2, Part 2. Love in 35mm. I heard what you said. Weighed each word, each pause carefully. It's not enough. Behind what you said lie words, unspoken. I was born without the cipher that allows me to break past the facade of the words you say out loud to view the words you don't say out loud. Your kind, beautiful face. Dense, rich rainforest of micro-expressions. Each one tells a story, projected onto a screen. 24 frames a second, picture perfect HD. The soul, however, is made of grainy 35mm film. Captivating. Momentarily pausing my ADHD. I breathe. slowly, deeply into my diaphragm, oxygenating dormant parts of my spirit. Now, if I'd read this in a book, I'd say that was a lot of silly Zen Buddhism. It's a good thing I prefer movies. Close off Act 2, this journey through love, with the final part of Act 2. It's called My Frayed Autistic Heart. Remember, things fall apart. You could trace to the roots, or delight at the challenge of putting the pieces back together again. Rearranged, reinterpreted, a collage of memories and interpretations. Everything, everywhere, all at once. 299 thoughts splintered, a cognitive kaleidoscope. Heart radiates love like a Care Bear, pre-9 p.m. watershed. Optimism, an operating system requiring only minimal upgrades. I'll come clean when the time is right. Until then, I trust you to break bread with me at your leisure. My anxiety, currently at an all-time minimum, a testament to the distance I've traveled. Now, I'll admit, my trajectory is jarring. At times, a Francois Truffaut-like jump cut. At others, just tripping over headfirst into a wormhole. Traipsing around London with you, Sierra whiskey, heat and humidity, constant companions. The thermometer lies. But my frayed, autistic heart does not. Forever calm in your presence. Home. Now, it wouldn't be a movie without complications. Things happen, I would say hero, but I don't want to be self-aggrandizing, so let's just say the protagonist, because that's also the name of the protagonist in Tenet, if anyone actually bothered to watch it. Did anyone watch it?
Yeah, I watched it.
Did anyone get it?
Yes.
Wow, some people actually got it. That, you're either smart or you're actually a bunch of liars. But either way, it's cool. So yeah, the complication here, at the beginning of the final act, is mental health. So anyone who saw me here from the beginning of the year till about April would see me DJing, I'm in my zone, super happy. That doesn't always tell the whole story. As certain people here know, who I've sort of confided in, but do that, go home, go back to being a vegetable, just living under the duvets. Happens to a lot of us, but it's something that we can all transcend if we actually try and check in with each other and hold each other in love. So, part 1, final act, and it's called Magic Will Snowball. Once I climb out of bed, magic will snowball at breakneck pace. 0 to 60, a thing of beauty. I step out of my body, transfixed. Step back in. Jumping out of my head and into my body is an optimal state, but it's rare, hard for me to access. It's not going to stop me trying, because I'm stubborn. Call me mule, goat, or my personal favorite, mighty ox. I pull my cart without complaint. Conserve energy, strategic. Not every ground is a battleground. Wartime, I thrive. Peacetime, so much. It will change. But for now, the ability to distinguish between the two helps. Love. Romantic, platonic, tectonic plates shift. Constant flux. United in grief, we cry together and laugh separately. Pause. Adjust. Now, we cry separately and we laugh together. Codependency. Consigned to the waste bin. Screwed up in a ball. 3-point jump shot. Perfectly poised. Smiling. Laughing with my whole body.
Say it again.
Perfectly poised. Smiling. Laughing with my whole body. If I knew then what I knew now, stop. Stop. Hold head high. Hazel green eyes locked forward. Can't stop, won't stop. But finally, I have room for passengers. So, if you will, repeat after me and then say it with me. Let's all share in a harvest for the world. Repeat after me.
Let's all share in the harvest for the world.
Together with me. Let's all share in a harvest for the world. Thank you. Like I said before, if we can just hold each other in love, we can get past certain things. I never thought I'd be able to climb out of bed at the beginning of April. But again, people from this community held me and really raised me up. So thank you. Ends with the final part and the final act, ending on joy. It's been a lovely thing to find. I never tire of doing this poem because I never tire of actually being able to share joy with others. So this one's called Builder's Brew.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Prompt start, Soho. Well-groomed. Self-care. Words exchanged over silk in a cup. Builder's brew. That's a milk and 2 sugars for our American cousins if you're sitting here. And it's a stimulant. It's chased down with empathy and kindness. I walk away lighter. Weight shed. Heart singing in perfect key. Noodles be found. Blindfold. Instincts flow freely when facades are shed, like snakeskins decaying almost instantly. The past no longer exists. Future crafted lovingly in the present, gifting myself light passage. Spirit now fuel efficient. ULEZ compliant in this world and the next. To give praise, bear witness, and give thanks. Say, Mashallah.
Mashallah.
Say, Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Say, Subhanallah.
Subhanallah.
Smile. Brownie
Brownie
points
points
for laughing with your whole
whole
body.
body.
Wherever you pass pass through. Please, please, please leave thick residues of love. Thank you. Love you too, babe. So yeah, storytelling's not over. So just building on what I said earlier, there's a lot of shout outs and thank yous I want to give. And I think the first one I've got to do really is to the person who made all of this possible, Abdullah. Certain people know this, but not everyone knows this. I had practically given up on performing. And I was very happy to sort of keep to myself. And I got a call from Abdullah saying, would you like to come and DJ? Of all the things I got asked to DJ, I didn't even know how to DJ. Literally, I think I actually said no at first because I had imposter syndrome. And then the person who recommended me, I went to him and he's like, look, go back to Abdullah, you say yes, come to my yard, I'll give you a 2-hour fresh, session, and then you can go on the decks. And I think just being able to sort of almost hide there and do something that I really love, which is curate music and share it with people, that really helped in just being more comfortable in my skin and healing. So thank you so much. I wouldn't be here if you hadn't pulled me out of obscurity and sort of said you're a DJ. So again, thank you for that. Some of a few other, there'll be people I'm going to miss. If I miss thanking you, we'll probably chat afterwards, or I'll message you. Big shout out to Greg Blackman, who's here in the crowd today. The last few years. Shout out to my producer, Chili Digital, who's not here tonight, owing to some very questionable choices in the food that he ate last night. So he's incorporating. Hydrate, please, Chili. And also, I'm giving you a shout out because it's a passive-aggressive way of saying we need to get studio time together. So this will be on YouTube later. So yeah. Other than that, big thank you to someone who can't be here, but certain people are going to know his importance to me. Huge influence. Emotional. But yeah, a big shout out to the legendary hip hop artist Ty, who rest in peace. An inspiration, a friend, and a big brother, and a mentor, and taken away from us too soon. Other than that, I want to also just a massive, massive thanks to Themetaphorest, who's been really supportive these past few months. And also a shout out to my girlfriend who's not here today. She's on holiday with her kids, but I want to thank you, Lucy, for inspiring half of this set, basically.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've been Swvrthy. Thank you. You have experienced windows to the spirits. Headliner Haroon, Sheldon, curated by themetaphorest. And this wouldn't have happened without yours truly, soft spoken. Before I bring, yes, you doing the sounds? Everyone make noise for your DJ, Lyrical. He is a sick boy as well. everyone just keeps it humble. Everyone keeps it humble. The last thing I'll say is from one of my poems, which I've titled "Wobble Up a Dub Dub." Is that the beat is within us from birth, loved up. And with that being said, I'd like to call soft spoken to the stage. The humbly close the seat. Come on.
Hi, I've been Russell Simmons and this has been Def Jam Bosch now. Psych. Hey, he is most definitely most definitely. Hey! I want to give it to Metaphorest to end this.
Yes!
Yeah, I want to say thank you to Akor and Karlla for providing a beautiful, beautiful platform across London as well, not just Wembley, but also East Croydon. This guy is like, he's the mascot for South. So. Yeah, so also, excellent gesture. Also, yeah, so 23rd, Charni will be headlining for that one, and Oyo. Yeah, so also, I think I'm just going to plug myself again. If you like this event, come to the next one on the 23rd. Poetry and Ships, 1st of September, which is on a Thursday. If you want 2-hour poetry and then a little party afterwards, this is vibe. Haroon will be DJing. Once I look down that venue tomorrow, I'll be plugging it on socials, man. I will not let it go.
What's your socials?
Themetaphorest, the metaphor, EST, all one word. Yeah, I'm flirting about on Insta, man. You'll find me. Just type the metaphor, it'll just come up. Man. The SEO is strong. Yeah? The SEO is strong. Yeah, no. So I'm working on that blue tick. I think I need to do something to rub myself for blue tick. Yeah, I just wanna. It's nice just to see old faces. I know some people that come through did little hey, I'm here again kind of thing. But yeah, man, it's appreciated. I appreciate the support. Me and Abdullah, thank you so much. And yeah, man.
Love your YouTube.
Come on.
The YouTube, yeah, the Metaphorest is the same thing. The SEO is strong. Type the metaphor, it'll come up. EST, all one word. It's just look at the link in my bio, man. It's there, man. And yeah, man.
What's the OnlyFans saying?
Yeah, the OnlyFans under construction. Yeah, man. If you want to hear any more of that sexy poetry that I'm known for, it's there. Yeah, Reverie, Miss Jones, all of that. So you can watch Miss Jones on my channel. And yeah, like I'm working on a couple of things. J Cage's music video coming. We're gonna, in 2 weeks' time or 3 weeks' time, we're gonna be playing Spot the Poet in a video. And there's that many collabs in there. So yeah, right?
Yeah.
You wanna say something?
I'm saying everyone get home safely.
Oh yeah.
I don't even need a mic for this one.
Yeah.
Get home safely. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you, sir.
From the bottom of my heart, I'm so blessed to have seen you all perform, talk to you all, and yeah, everyone connect. You know, we can leave this room immediately, effectively. We can stay there as long as we want, have as many conversations.
I got one thing from the bottom of my heart as well. Pick up your shit.
Oh yeah. Pick up your rubbish as well, yeah. Make sure the 1st of September is free for you guys as well. Poetry and Ships. Poetry and Ships. Yeah. When I say bring your, you say all bars. Bring your. Bring your. Yeah.